But two big controversies, one in each state, were sparked off by two candidates. And both raised some extremely serious and disturbing questions. The first controversy to the one in Telangana, a video, the one on your screens, of BJP's aggressive Hyderabad candidate Madhavi Latha checking the IDs of Muslim women waiting to vote, instructing them to unveil their burqa to reveal their faces, led to a sharp exchange and accusations of violating the privacy of the women and breaking the model code of conduct. Madhavi Latha, though, defended her action and argued that as a candidate, she had the right to check the IDs of the voters without face masks to curb bogus voting. However, cases under sections of the IPC and under sections of the Representation of People's Act were filed in Hyderabad. The controversy has led to a sharp exchange on social media. These are some of the reactions.
मैं कैंडिडेट हूं और एज पर लॉ कैंडिडेट हैज अ राइट टू चेक द आइडेंटिटी कार्ड with the face without the face mask. I am not a male, I am a female, and with lot of humbleness I've only requested them, can I please see and verify with the ID card? And if somebody wants to make a big issue out of it, that means that he's scared of it.
Well, what do we make of this controversy? Who's on the wrong? Who's on the right? Waris Pathan, spokesperson of the AIMIM, joins us this evening along with Kishore Poreddy, spokesperson of the BJP. My colleague Uma Sudhir, who's been tracking this case very closely, also joins us there. She's been tracking all the developments through voting day in both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. My first question to you, Mr. Kishore Poreddy, it's the aggression with which the women were asked to unveil their burqa is being accused as an invasion of privacy. Was this an intimidating tactic?
Good evening. Actually, just last month, there were more than 2 lakh votes that have been deleted from the electoral rolls because they were all fake. And this was in April 2024, just 1 month before this election. And there have been complaints, like in a single house, there were more than 100 votes. I mean, this is the background of the scenario here. There's a rampant fake voting that's been happening, and these duplicate votes, fake votes itself is an example of, is an indication of how it works here. More than poll management, electoral roll management is what happens in the whole old city. So if we want free and fair polls, elections, then obviously you want to reduce fake. And in that case, if you cannot identify the voter, you have the ID card, but if you cannot identify who is who that's coming in and voting in that name, because a lot of people, I've heard Muslim women.
The question is twofold. Who does it? Who is supposed to do it? Should it be the authorities? Should it be done in a sensitive way? Waris Pathan, the BJP is saying that this was only purely an effort to prevent bogus voting. Your response?
Well, let me tell you, in the morning we received several complaints and there were videos that went all over the country and people were sending it to us, showing that the BJP's Lok Sabha candidate from Hyderabad, Madhavi Latha, is going to booths and she is asking the women who are wearing hijabs and burqas to unveil it, show their face, show their ID cards. Is this allowed? Is she an agent of the election commissioner or she is a candidate? You are not allowed to, you are not supposed to do that. If at all she is suspected something, she could have very well called the police or the agents to make inquiries. But no, she wanted to create an environment of hatred. She wanted to suggest that, okay, I don't want you to vote. Their intention was to stop the Muslim women from voting. That is what as we got the complaint, we registered an FIR against them in the Balakpur police station and the case is registered, booked against her. But is this fair and fair election? We want a fair, this is a democracy. See, we enjoy the festival of democracy, the elections come. The constitution has given right, but if you feel that some bogus voting is going on, there is an election commissioner. You could have very well gone there and registered your complaint. But no, she took it on herself, and not only that, she again went to other polls and she was not even listening to the police or to the polling agents there. She was abusing them. There are videos which are violent all
before I get to Uma Sudhir,
showing that
that's an
she
important point that you make there, and I want Mr. Poreddy to respond to it.
That's not allowed, sir.
Of way it was done, Mr. Poreddy, that's the objection. That it's the way that it was done. That's the objection, Mr. Poreddy. Quickly before I go to my colleague Uma Sudhir.
Firstly, we have to notice that the authorities had to check it The police and the election commission officials have to check it, but we have seen no place because they were also under fear of reprisals. So this has been happening for ages. It's not new today. So the candidate took it upon herself. Maybe it's wrong, maybe it is right. I mean, the law will take its own due course and we'll figure it out later on. But the issue is not just the candidate checking the faces, but the issue is, are there fake votes and are there fake enrollments? More than 2 lakhs have more Hindu votes been deleted in claiming that they are dead. Is that true?
No, that point is taken, sir. The issue is whether the candidate should be doing it at that stage. Uma Sudhir, what are the authorities telling you?
The law will take its own course, ma'am.
Okay, first let me set the record straight on this voter deletion that has been told about time and again. One must point out that the Election Commission is the one who deals with the electoral rolls, and yes, this complaint about the list being needing to be sanitized was something that was raised by the Congress, and the very similar list was given by Madhavi Latha, and it's the Central Election Authorities, not a local party, that is dealing with it. And in fact, deletions only happen not with the concurrence of the local CEO here, but of the Central Election Office. And the 2 lakh that they are speaking about, I have also spoken to the Hyderabad District Election Officer, who has pointed out that 1.79 lakh voters were deleted from the list after the Hyderabad assembly elections, after the Telangana assembly elections happened. This is in Hyderabad alone, out of which 25,000 are dead voters, 35,000 duplicate voters. 1 lakh had asked for their votes to be shifted to nearby polls. 18,000 voters were deleted from the list. So this is something that the Election Commissioner has done, and for the BJP to say that we don't trust this would be unfair on the officers of the Election Commission. That's one thing. Second is, yes, live telecast, web telecast, 100% web telecast of all the polls is happening inside and outside the polling booth, and this is exactly to create a sense of trust, transparency and credibility in the system. So it's unfair to point fingers at the list itself. The third point about Madhavi Latha, the district election officer, Mr. Ronald Rose, has very clearly said that no candidate is allowed to go around checking the authenticity or the veracity of any of the voters. That's the job of the polling officer. If you have a suspicion, you point it out to the polling officer and they will carry out the due process. You are right, Veera, it is an intimidatory tactic and it is an intrusion of privacy. Are we saying that when women come to vote, they cannot be wearing the burqa? That's also a question that needs to be raised.
That's right. Uma, I just want one last word from Waris Patan and then possibly from Mr. Poreddy as well. Mr. Patan, this is again a reflection that intimidation, either side, brazenness is the reality of Hyderabadi politics. Yes or no?
Yeah, well, I agree with what Uma Sudhir just now said, that in fact you suspect somebody, there's a polling agents are there, police is there, you should go lodge and complain. But here the thing was, because Muslims were wearing burqa, they wanted to unveil them, they wanted to show their face in the name of the garb of just asking them for their identity. And this creates an atmosphere among the people that if you go there, they will remove our veil, they will remove a burqa. And this is the only intention was, their only intention was to see to it that the polling does not take place and the percentage of polls go down. This was their intention, but subsequently the polling went ahead and we went. But now we have want the election commissioner, what is he doing? He should take steps. We have already registered an FIR. FIR is registered at 2 police stations, which I have learned recently. And so the election commissioner must take action against such kind of people who are trying to, this is not less than rigging the polls. So action must be taken against her.
Mr. Poreddy, very quickly,
strict action should be ensured that free and fair poll takes place all over the country. You cannot just go and do this kind of things out of a
more sensitive approach to this, very quickly.
So if we go by
final word from Mr. Poreddy, should there have been more sensitive approach?
Could have been, but if the authorities had taken it upon themselves. But here is a very specific question. If a woman asks someone wearing a burqa to show her face, even then you have an objection. Imagine the situation. The booth level agents, there is only one person from each party. And if it's a male, if they had asked to show the face so that they could verify the voter, then it would have been a different controversy and much bigger controversy. So what does the AIMIM spokesperson say? Does he say that anyone wearing a burqa, whether it's a male, female, Hindu, Muslim, anybody can wear a burqa?
No,
and they
it is
can go
not
in
the
and
job
they
of
need
the
not be
candidate to
identified
do
and they
it
can
for
vote.
sure.
I think the question is how it is done, who is supposed to do it. The election authorities are the ones who are supposed to do it. We'll have to leave this right here.